Hey guys, this is actually something that I've been wanting to react to for a little while. Ever since I started watching it, I discovered it. I'd say probably about a week ago, and I only watched about half of it. So I wanted to react to the entire thing with you and watch the whole thing with you guys and give you guys a little bit of a reaction to this and talk about it. Maybe we can talk about this a little bit and give this a little bit of a serious discussion. Obviously we can joke around a little if you want, but definitely a serious discussion here dealing with obviously the election and everything. So let's crack open a freaking ginger ale. And watch this video. So, this is this video is called "I Went to a Trump Rally, Goes Horribly Wrong." That's what this is called. So here we go.
Kamala Harris is the biggest threat to democracy yet.
So then, by your logic, you're provoking violence.
If that's what it takes, then I guess so.
What?
Wait.
Over the years, I have been to.
Wait. So. So again, let's hear that again. Let's hear that again. He says, "If that's what it takes." Look at his face, too. Almost like he knows what he's saying. Probably isn't the best, and he kind of doesn't really look like he knows what he's saying. Like it almost looks like he's guessing. You know, like just the look on his face, his expression. It just. And on him, too, just like he can't believe it. Let's hear that again.
If that's what it takes, then I guess so.
You're provoking violence.
If that's what it takes, then I guess so.
What? What you mean? Over the years,
It is what it is, he says.
To some wild Trump rallies, including the last one where an assassination attempt took place. So today, we don't know what awaits us.
So yeah, this was the one. This was right after that, I think, was the idea. I think wasn't somebody else speaking for him because it was after the attempt. I have no idea. I just know this was right after, obviously, since he said it. Oh, 7 days ago. So yeah, I found out about this right when it was posted, I guess. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Including the last one where an assassination attempt took place. So today we don't know what awaits us, but let's go do it.
I started off as a Satanist, and I was hardcore against him and everything. I was a hardcore liberal and all that, but then my mom hadn't started inviting me to church. Church was the main reason I started listening to him. Because he was doing more of the things that I believed in.
Why would Trump be, if we think about sort of the principles Jesus stood for, why would Trump be the embodiment of that type of figure, a godly man when he was found in a civil trial to have raped a woman? He talked about grabbing women by the you-know-what. He can't name a single Bible verse. He's been divorced twice. No record of him ever really going to church. Speaks about people like John McCain. Oh, he's not a hero because he was captured. I like people who weren't captured.
So look how she looks away here. Like she just, like despite everything he's saying, she's completely unengaged. She doesn't want to hear it. Anything that would discredit the person she has already decided she likes as a candidate, she doesn't want to hear, even if it's factual. And the thing about not really much record of him going to church and stuff like that. Yeah, like stuff like that is like what I started to find out when I was like looking him up, like when he first ran and stuff like that. And he's like sort of spouting this stuff up. This was some of the stuff that I found out about when he first ran. and some of the stuff that lingers around that people talk about. But honestly, like, the interesting thing is doesn't the stuff he's mentioning here doesn't seem to really affect poll numbers and stuff that much, unfortunately. So like, you have to, when you're picking topics and stuff like that, you have to be simpler about it, like Trump is, except don't lie. Like, that's my thing, is like with Trump, the reason why it works is because he's flat out lying, but he's being really simple, and they latch onto that. They don't understand what politicians say, so they just think they're all lying, they're all manipulating something. It's just not true. They just don't know what they're saying half the time. And so, like, obviously Trump uses this and counts on this too. I mean, come on. We've all seen this now. So anyway, I'll shut up.
Disparaging our veterans, suckers, and losers, making fun of disabled people. Is that really the Christian man?
Why believe the news? Why believe all the news?
He's a winner. He's a
What? Wait, is that all she said?
Weren't captured, disparaging our veterans, suckers, and losers, making fun of disabled people. Is that really the Christian man?
Why believe the news? Why believe all the news?
He's a winner. He's a fighter, and he's gonna take down Kamala.
Except for 2020, he didn't win then, right?
I still think that he did. Don't judge me. He won 2020. I don't care what anybody else says.
Oh my God. All right, look. This guy looks like he came here to get interviewed. I just, like, I don't, the way he talks, the way his mannerisms are, like, even from before, again, like, he just obviously kind of doesn't know what he's talking about. And, again, it's the simple things and stuff like that, and then obviously just gets it wrong. So earlier he was fine with violence and stuff like that, and now...
Then, right?
I still think that he did. Don't judge me. He won 2020. I don't care what anybody else says.
So again, he did not. And to be honest, also, if you remember, against Hillary, he didn't even win the popular vote. That's the point. He by a small margin, won the Electoral College, and again, a small margin, which he also lied about. He lost the popular vote, and it wasn't by, like, it was a decent, it was like, what, 3 million or something like that. It was a decent margin. So the point is, like, he just doesn't, like, does he know that info? Like, does he, could he pull that number up, you know, or even say, I think it was like 3 million or something? Can he even say that? You know, like, the point is, he doesn't know. He didn't look anything up. He's just saying things. He just showed up to get interviewed. This is what I see. Essentially, it's almost like a bunch of folks that didn't really pay attention to politics, and they sort of kind of, maybe, like, they look actually kind of younger too. This guy might be even younger than me. And so, like, it just sort of is the sort of thing where they grew up not being educated about economics very well, being educated about American politics very well, because we're educated about politics all around, like, the world and stuff like that, but oftentimes we're actually not educated here in the U.S. about American politics very well, to be quite frank with you. If it's even talked about like trying to educate about debating or anything like that, it's hushed. You know, they don't. Oh, you can't even talk about that. I really think parents need to get over the feeling and you know, their feelings getting hurt if their kids want to, like, vote for somebody else or something like that. The point is to respect everybody's individual you know, things that they personally believe in, but just teach right from wrong. This guy wasn't taught that. That's why this is so important when we teach in schools and stuff about, you know, like all right, so now we know about gun violence, right? The whole point was that we originally thought, well, don't teach about guns, but then we realized that's not right. We want to teach about it so that way it's education, so that way they understand what it is, they understand the damage it can cause, and understand why regulation, not taking it away, regulating it, putting numbers on it, tracking it, things like that are a good thing, okay? And the propaganda surrounding saying, oh, they're going to take it away, that's the point. This is why I need to educate people and understand what the politician's trying to say to get you to think that that's a bad thing. Okay, regulation's not a bad thing. You're just taught to think that. It's brainwashing. That's American politics. The truth of the fact is, though, that we have freedom of the press. So if you take that away, yeah, we won't have any of this anymore. We won't be able to sit here and talk about this. You won't be able to even say anything about a politician or anything like that. So, like, you have to understand, like, this is really, really important to keep these things and have these liberties. These things that people insult people with, liberals and stuff. I don't even understand that. Half the time that people use this as a, like, sort of like an insult, it's like they're exercising that civil liberty to do such. To literally have the ability and right to say that. So people just really don't, they take for granted where they come from and don't do enough to give back, I think, with this. And this is what I think is really important to talk about moving forward into the next election and everything. You know, stop the shouting matches. I want to hear policies. I don't want to hear about Donald's son did this. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear Kamala's whoever did this. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. I want to hear policy points. If I hear one more thing in a freaking debate about their age or their freaking family members or some completely ridiculous thing that has nothing to do with what I'm voting for or why I'm voting for this office, I'm just gonna roll my eyes so hard they're gonna come flying out the back of my head. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. And Trump makes it this way. He does. Before, it was just Republicans and Democrats. Kind of, yeah, it was a circus act. We get it. But the point is, you could call it that. You could call it what it is, and you could squeeze the truth out of everything with that. The point is, with Trump, everything's a lie. Everything's I'm not going to answer the question. I'm just going to keep talking over the next person. And then remember, now they just turn their mics off. That was never a thing. Okay. So just remember this stuff, guys. When you're voting and stuff and thinking about a candidate, don't just blindly. This is what you get. Like they don't get it. They don't even understand. And then like people that want to vote for him, they're the ones saying, "Yo, you just don't get it." No. I'm sorry. Like I'm trying to help. This is actually the point. You don't get it. Like truthfully, you don't understand government and what it's for. It's not. It's literally like people misinterpret everything that they do for you. Like it's everything. You wouldn't even have clean water. Like you really don't understand everything that they do and why it's important that we have what we have and why the rest of the world relies on us because of that. Do you understand that? Like this is why. So please use this a little bit more when you're thinking about things like randomly putting a sticker on a gas pump that says I did that, but really you have no freaking clue. You're just doing this because you're angry and you see the sticker being sold at a Trump thing. And so this is something that he just lies to you about, gets you to buy the sticker. It's more money for him. You deface gas stations. This makes people mad. It causes tension between the voters. This is good for him. Like, you guys don't get the psychological thing that he's doing. He's really, really creating a successful cult following here, where that's the psychological warfare he's playing. He's selling stickers essentially that he knows his voters are gonna put on those things. Like, that's the point. What are those for? I did that. Why would you sell a sticker that says that except what it's for? I caught gas stations selling those before. I literally looked at the guy, and I looked down at the stickers. I looked up at him. I looked down at the stickers. I looked up at him, and I said, is there a manager present? And I actually asked him that, and he said, I'm the manager. And I said, okay, you know that somebody's just going to buy those and put them on your gas pumps, right? I'm just letting you know. I'm like not trying to be rude. I'm just letting. And no lie, the guy shook his head. He goes, I know, it's the owner, not me. I just... So they're selling them, and then they're reporting it when people... Because they have to? Like, I just... So, like, you guys get what I'm saying. Like, it's not good.
I think you won.
You don't care what anyone else says, like all the courts and investigations and audits and recounts and what's the most important issue? In
there was recounts. Like, that's the point. He tried, even though he shouldn't have. He tried to protest it, and it was flat out. We found all that it proved is that he was wrong. That's the point. That's what he was saying there. There was a huge investigation. Trump did that investigation. He caused it.
What's the most important issue in this election?
What's the most important of an election?
Yeah. Okay. And what would you say the most important issue is in
the most... All right, so remember, he's asking him what the most important issue is of the election. Okay? An issue. Like a problem with the country that, like, Trump needs to handle, right?
It's in recounts.
And we all know that there's plenty of those.
What's the most important issue in this election?
What the hell? So, all right, hear me out here. This is where I come from. What's the most important issue in this election? Yet every single one of these people is wearing something that they paid money for. They very obviously aren't wealthy. You can just tell. I'm not trying to be rude. They're very obviously not wealthy. Okay, they paid money for this stuff, so they're supporting him enough to buy $60 hats, $20 flags, probably $40 t-shirts, stand there, and then not have a reason immediately what the biggest issue is in this election. Yet they care this much about their candidate. They're buying all these things. Guys, he's a celebrity. They're there because he's a celebrity. He's their celebrity president. Yep, he's gonna save them all. This is. Do you not see?
What's the most important of an election?
Yes, yep, that Trump wins.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. You could have said climate change crisis. You could have said national debt. You could have said Social Security. You could have said, like, there's so many things you could have said. You could have said the national the fact that, like, we still have a mental health crisis and stuff like that. You could have said, there's so many things you could have said. You could You could have said the wildfires. You could like, literally California and all that's burning down right now. Still, a lot of people don't realize that. Like you could, like, there's so many things that you could have said that are going on right now that nobody has any clue about. And there's your point. There's your proof. Again, they literally showed up, spent money to support this candidate, and have no fucking clue what they're voting for. Why they're voting for this guy. There it is. Like, look at how intently they're looking at him. Like, please give us an answer. And he's like waiting. He's like, I can't wait to hear this. Like, I really want to know. He's truthfully waiting for a really good answer. That's the point. Like, I want one too. Yeah, a good one. Because every good one that I've heard I can shoot down is not something that Trump did. It's something Obama did. Like, it's essentially they tricked you into thinking it was something like because he took credit for certain things. Like, for example, I found out actually the oil drilling and stuff that we're doing, people think was Trump. I found out actually started back in 2009. So, yeah. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. Okay. And what would you say the most important issue is in this election?
The border,
Does it bother?
economy.
Yeah. Does it bother you that Trump got Republicans to shoot down that border security bill?
No. Top issue in this election.
So, it's actually a really good point. I forgot about that. Yeah, you should look that up. It's actually a really good point. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I was like, okay, here it is, right here. Like, come on. I remember he was gonna build a wall. Mexico was gonna pay for it. None of that happened. And also, the point is, a wall doesn't, like, that's not a smart solution. It's not how you do this. You do that with a border plan. Again, I've said this before. We had things that we did. No, there wasn't any, like, huge thing, I don't think, that Congress ever did at one point. But it was like the sort of thing where, yeah, there were things that eventually they started doing, and a lot of it had to do, I think, with the government in Texas, the actual state government in Texas, obviously. So you just have to realize that it's not, oftentimes not what people think. Like, it's just not as simple as like, oh, well, they're all crossing the border and stuff. They're allowed. Like, the point is, people. This is what ticked off a lot of people that were, I think, kind of racist. Let's be honest. This is who this ticked off. And Trump knows that. So all he did was say that we have a border problem and cause a big stink. And really what this was, and remember, some of these ICE agents that they brought back were like arresting people that were allowed to be here. They were legally allowed to be here to seek asylum. And that's what people didn't know. There was a process that existed where essentially they were allowed, that's what Mexicans are allowed to do, essentially. That's the point. That's how they would come across. They would eventually go through the process to become citizens. But the point is, you seek asylum. You're allowed to be here. You get a temporary visa or whatever. You know, the point is you go through the right channels. And that's how you do it. It's called seeking asylum. And this is what they would always do. And all he did was take advantage of the fact that absolutely nobody knew about that. Like, nobody knew how it worked. And he took advantage of how racist the voters are. So he put the two and two together, and people were like, yeah, it's a huge problem. And as soon as he said that, the whole point was that's why they all stormed the border. Because immediately all the Mexicans that wanted to flee the terrible crap that's going on in their country to get away from that so they could actually just work for what they deserve, because that's what they do. They are hard workers, and every single one of them that I have ever worked with has been a very hard worker. That's the point. So they stormed the border because the point was he was saying this, so they're like, oh, well, I guess people are getting across then, more than we thought. So they stormed the border because Trump said this. He caused the issue. Donald Trump caused the border crisis. He creates problems, okay? Yeah. Does this remind you of certain other people that have started to recognize what his brand is and take advantage of it? Okay, I'm just putting this out there. This is what people are starting to do. People are recognizing what Trump does to take advantage of people that aren't smart with marketing. They don't know sales, marketing, stuff like that, and that somebody's just a salesman. Okay? It's like the guy at the car lot that wants to rip you off. Oh, it's the best car in the lot. Slaps hood. Let's throw this guy again.
This election.
The border.
Does it bother?
Economy.
Yeah. Does it bother?
I agree that the economy is always going to be an ongoing issue. You should always focus economy, but again, simple answers, and they're not incorrect. They're not incorrect, but again, knowing why. Again, Trump caused that problem at the border, and then again, you know, like, well, we don't need to go over that again. So the point is just simple answers, you know.
Bother you that Trump got Republicans to shoot down that border security bill?
No. Top issue in this election?
Okay, that he's right. That happened, and look that up. Okay, that's crazy. They really did shoot down the border security bill. Yeah. Right, because it was a Democratic bill, right? I think that's what it was. Look it up, guys. I do know he's right. Yeah, like that I was like, man, are you kidding me?
That
Of course.
border security bill?
No.
He did this a lot though, like with stuff. Like if it's a Democrat doing it, he's just shooting it down because again, the point is to fool the voters to think that every Democrat just wants to do something wrong or something like that, so he shoots it down. A lot of times, when they're president, then they do that same thing the Democrat was going to do, except it's more expensive and has less things that help you. And more things that help, like billionaires and stuff like that. Like, that's... Like, you guys don't understand, like, the roles are reversed. There's nothing conservative about Republicans anymore. What's conservative about the way they act and perceive themselves? What's conservative about it? They're wearing giant red hats that say "Make America Great Again." They're loud as shit. They're always like burning shit down, rioting. Literally, like, they are the epitome of the opposite of that. Like, it's literally the opposite. It's like it's opposite, guys. The roles are reversed. The Democrats are the conservative ones now, that are for the family-oriented people, the people that care about like family and conservatism and stuff like that. It's literally the opposite of the way it used to be. And the fact that people are so oblivious to this is a very important thing to remember. I'm sorry, I'm going to shut up and react to this because this is a very good video.
That border security bill?
No. Top issue in this election? The safety of our country as a whole.
Does it make
I actually like that answer. I actually like that answer. It's a really, really good answer. I like it. Yeah, you can't... It's really, really hard to debate that answer. That's very good.
make you feel good or maybe more supportive of Biden Harris and now Harris that crime has been plummeting under Biden?
No, no.
You gotta finish.
And that's true too. I looked that up actually. All right, so let's.
As a whole. Selection, the safety of our country as a whole.
So he says safety.
Does it make you feel good or maybe more supportive of Biden Harris and now Harris?
So essentially, he's trying to reassure him that the current administration is focused on those things. That's essentially what he's trying to say with what he's telling him. He's not trying to like be rude. He's just telling him this is the truth of the fact.
That crime has been plummeting under Biden?
No.
And then he just immediately argumentative. This is how every Trump supporter has been toward me. I actually try to help them understand what the actual truth of the fact is, and they just want to argue. Just like, no, they're just stubborn. Like, literally, they have no clue. And truthfully, that's the point. That's why we always all know, because like it's always like we start with a fact and then someone just goes no, and you're just like, yeah, all right, yep, sure. It's like we've all heard
We
it
gotta finish that
before.
wall because it was working fine, and we gotta get our liquid gold out from under.
Wait, no. See, clearly that the point was it wasn't working fine. There's a fence, and again, a wall would actually make it easier to get over. A fence doesn't. Yeah, a fence, a lot of times you got barbed wire and stuff like that. You can see through it. Yeah, exactly. And not only that, putting a wall up affects the wildlife in the area, dramatically affects the wildlife in the area. Prevents animals and stuff like that from crossing when they need to. It's not a good thing. Again, the fence is a good idea. And it's not how people are getting through. They're tunneling and shit. Yeah, and not only that, it's the drug cartels and stuff like that. That's literally how they're. It's not like people think. That was literally all just a huge propaganda ploy to get the racist people to draw out that racist anger in the voters, in the people that actually are. Because, you know, there are people out there. And, you know, that's the point. Why would you want a wall? If there is no logical... Yeah, logic gone. If you want a wall between Texas and Mexico, you are racist. That's it. Like, there's no logic. Yeah, like, that's just it. And this is what ticks people off. It's just the truth of the fact. Stop saying these things, and you know, like, that's the point. Like, there's no logic to that, and I've already explained why.
Under the ground, and to the hell with electric.
What would you say to the stat?
Wait, what? To hell with electric? What does that even mean? Hold on, I want to hear what she says again. I'm sorry.
No.
We gotta finish that wall because it was working fine, and we gotta get our liquid gold
And
out from under the ground.
I'm gonna ignore that.
And to the hell with electric.
Not sure what the hell she's talking about.
What would you say to the stat that we're producing more oil production now?
Like, to hell with electricity? Like, what? She's saying hell with electric cars? Is she saying to hell with electric cars? No. You want to hell with fossil fuels. It's the other way around. We should be on electric, like, we should be past electric. Yeah, it shouldn't even, it shouldn't, No. This is like archaic thinking. This is, and he's about to actually answer. It actually says it here. Let me let him answer. I'm sorry.
What would you say to the stat that we're producing more oil production now than any time in American history?
That's not valid.
It actually is, okay? So I looked this up. He's right. Yeah, look it up. I looked this one up This is the one where I didn't believe him either, and then because he said this, I looked it up. I learned something from this video. I didn't know this. I'll admit this right now in front of you. This is the point. This is what Trump voters won't do. I have almost never heard somebody do this. And yet, here I am doing it. I would have flat out said he was wrong, but I looked it up. The point is, I don't do that anymore. I just look things up. And, now sometimes I know, like a lot of time, like it's like somebody will say something, I just know it's not true. Because I already know. But, look at her face. She is really convinced, but again, not with facts, she just is never going to change her mind. No matter what you do, like her age, the way she is, her stance, like the way she looks, like you can just tell she's angry. This is bad. This is what the problem is essentially, instead of blaming people and getting angry about this, this is what clouds your judgment. You become an angry voter and you just choose. And you can't think, you can't logically deduce what's going on. So here she is, he's giving her the information. And right here it is, he's sourcing the information too, U.S. Energy Information Administration. Yeah. Yeah. Flat out. There it is, there's your source of info. He's even citing the source. That's insane. Yeah. So, like, just flat out wrong. And this is what I see typically.
Keystone's not open.
Here's my
Make it
question.
great.
I was just told, I was pounded over the head with a talking point, that the reason the assassination attempt of Trump happened is because people said he was a threat to democracy. Oh my gosh, people correctly identified that he's really bad for democracy. Somehow that caused a deranged person, who was a Republican, by the way, to do something terrible. And I agree it was terrible. So now you're saying Kamala Harris is a threat to democracy. Are you not provoking violence?
Kamala Harris is the biggest threat to democracy, yes.
So then, by your logic, you're provoking violence.
If that's what it takes, then I guess so.
So now now we know why he said that at the beginning. Oh my God. We literally have a voter right here saying that he's basically admitting that he hopes there's an assassination attempt again. That's what this voter is saying. Proving that Trump voters are hateful. That's literally what he's saying. Let's hear it again. Let's hear it again.
The threat to democracy.
He even admitted, he said yes. Hold on.
Pounded over the head with a talking point, that the reason the assassination attempt of Trump happened is because people said he was a threat to democracy.
Yes. He says yes. He agrees with that one.
Oh my gosh, people correctly identified that he's really bad for democracy.
Okay, so we agreed with this. Okay, so he's saying okay, yeah. So people recognize this. Okay, he says it kind of sounds like me, like a little bit right here.
Somehow that caused a deranged person, who was a Republican, by the way, to do something terrible. And I agree it was.
Yes. So are we following this logic still? So he agreed. He agreed. Okay. That this is the point that essentially
attempt of Trump happened is because people said he was a threat to democracy. Oh my.
He's a threat to democracy. He agrees.
Gosh, people correctly identified that he's really bad for democracy. Somehow that caused a deranged person, who was a Republican, by the way, to do something terrible. And I agree it was.
And again, so this again, he's agreeing basically this caused somebody who was a Republican to try to assassinate Trump.
Terrible. Absolutely. So now you're saying Kamala
He says
Harris
absolutely.
is a threat to democracy. Are you not provoking violence?
Kamala Harris is the biggest threat to democracy, yes.
What? Why did we all get together and say that we condemn what happened to Donald Trump? Why did I bother saying that we don't do this? This is literally right at, this was a week ago. It's not even that long ago that this happened. And again, Why? It's like, why did I even bother? Like, the point is, even me, somebody that would never vote for that guy, literally can't stand that guy. I condemned it. I came out right away and said, this is terrible. You know, everybody should feel the same. I can't even believe this happened. And I was right there with everybody to discuss it and agree and hope that he's okay. Absolutely. And right here we have a Trump voter doing the exact opposite when questioned if you know, he would feel the same way essentially to, you know, assassination on, you know, the opposition, the other party, Kamala Harris. This is terrible. And absolutely shows hypocrisy plaguing the Republican voters. They are huge hypocrites and are admitting it. This is what I see. I see a bunch of people doing this. He knows what he's doing. So why? Why does he do this? Because his friends. Because he has alpha male, protein drinking, bicep flexing, truck driving alpha male friends, and they all get together and sit there and talk crap on Biden and blah 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 blah, and he joins in. So when presented with facts from somebody that's not like that, somebody that uses their head and isn't a complete jackass, suddenly the jackass is right there in front of you. So suddenly we realize who it is. Suddenly this guy that should know better is literally just smiling. He's like, I don't care. I got my perfect life with my perfect wife and my perfect friends and my case of beer in the fridge and my football on TV and my Hulk Hogan ripping his shirt off at the RNC. Like just the image. This is unbelievable. I mean, it's quite literally the epitome image. You guys realize this is the epitome image of what Nazism wanted, right? You guys know this, right? We're about there. You know this, right? Now the good news is that the civil rights bill is still in place. That's the good news. Okay? If Trump gets put in office or people like him and this continues, it won't. Yeah, you all thought Roe versus Wade, they would never. Yeah. Okay? I mean, like, it's not a joke. Like, this is some serious stuff, and this is the direction that some people see it heading, and unfortunately, I think they're right. You know, like I don't like to talk about it either, but that's kind of the direction it's going. Let's be honest. We see that he knows he's wrong, and he's just like, yeah, vote for Trump anyway.
So then, by your logic, you're provoking violence.
If that's what
That's
it takes,
what it
then I guess
takes.
so.
What? What you mean? Tell me about
He
your
says
shirt.
it is what it is.
I-
Yeah, he's not fighting that. He's not doing that. Yeah, if there's a war that breaks out, that's the point. Like, he's not thinking that way. Defund the media. Okay. And then they got the pink hats too. Wait, does that have a signature? Oh my god. They have his signature embroidered on the freaking. Do we not see how, like, commercial Trump is. He's just like selling everything. Like, come on. Like, are we stupid? We're stupid. Yeah, America's fucking stupid.
What you mean? Tell me about your shirt.
I just think the media just likes to put a bunch of fake stuff out there.
Like,
and I think we just need to cut back on it and get on top of people for spreading.
Defund the media, yet she is like everything, like they're the biggest like cheerleaders for Trump. Somebody that wants to control the media. He doesn't want to defund it. He wants to control it. That's not defunding it. It's the opposite. He'll spend shitloads of money controlling what you hear and stuff. Kind of already sort of did that. Well, let's hear what defund the media has to say.
What you mean?
This
Tell me about your shirt.
is going to be an
I
intelligent
just
comment,
think
I'm
the media
sure.
just likes to put a bunch of fake stuff out there, and I think we just need to cut back on it and get on top of people for spreading fake news.
One of the things that Trump posted was that the government should come down hard on media outlets that are spreading misinformation and stuff. How do we feel about that?
I just think it's horrible. They put bad looks on Trump, people who support Trump. I think it's just all fake.
And Trump's for freedom of the press?
hmm
What would you say if I told you
It was everything I just talked about. So they clear... What he just proved is that they don't know what the freedom of the press means or the definition of it. Because she said, Defund the media. She's wearing a shirt that says that. This is like punk, guys. This is like, you know, like all the bands that made the songs about how terrible the media is, everything they tried to warn you about. Rage Against the Machine, stuff like that. Like, she's wearing that shirt, yet she's touting the opposite. That's what he's trying to get across to you. Essentially, people are missing the point today. That she's wearing a defund the media shirt where it's like this sort of message exactly like they used to have, except she doesn't understand freedom of the press. That's the point of freedom of the press. If you have freedom of the press, like, that's the point. A rich billionaire could fucking control all of it. That's why you want it. You don't get that. That's what's already happening with some things. Did you realize this is why, like, the whole... You guys, did you go look up the Google lawsuit that I told you to look up? You should look that up. I don't want to talk about it on here. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it on here. Yeah, I feel bad because like that sucks for YouTube because they're caught in the middle of that. That's not very fortunate for them. But they lost the monopoly lawsuit. They were declared a monopoly. And this is there's a lot of companies that are like this, and I think that eventually this is going to be the thing where, yeah, that's the point. This is why this stuff was illegal. Monopolies are illegal, and it's like we have so many of these things. Donald Trump is trying to successfully monopolize the U.S. government. If you can't see that, and you can't see what other rich billionaires do, just like Walmart did on monopolizing the grocery market. They control the prices. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to upset companies or anything. Like the whole point is to talk about that. Like the point is like we know we've seen these things and what like with Walmart, like it's not that bad because they actually recognized it and then started trying to like reaching out and helping communities and stuff. And so that's why, like, you saw a lot of times you see fire trucks outside Walmart. They really help communities and stuff. So that's how they try to give back with that and try to combat that. So, like, I'm not, like, saying anything bad against them. I just, the whole point is, like, they recognized it was a systemic problem. It's not really even their fault. It's just that because they were doing so well and they are that top 1%, it literally just happens. And I think Amazon actually falls victim to this too. I think people want to blame everything on Amazon. Oh, it's so terrible, yet they buy everything from Amazon because it's so freaking cheap. Case in point, if they were really that evil, you know what I mean? Like, it's, like, I get it. I do. But understand why. It's Donald Trump. It's the couple of billionaires that are terrible that are or have been in power. And people like this with defund the media shirts and stuff like that just blindly voting when they think, yeah, it's what I've always said, they're supporting a cause that they actually think is for this person they're voting for, and it's the opposite. They're actually convinced of this.
That
with
Biden
propaganda.
was on Epstein's flight log 7 times.
I would definitely.
All right, so what's this about?
What would you say if I told you that Biden was on Epstein's flight log 7 times?
I would definitely believe that. I know he has, as a liberal, he has a lot of ties to like the Clintons, who also have a strong tie to Jeffrey Epstein, and I would not be surprised to hear that.
But the person who's been on Epstein's flight log 7 times was Trump.
Really? I'm guessing you guys aren't for Trump. I see.
See, you know what? I think that's a very smart young man. Yeah, I think he's very smart. That was a really... Because, like, he can tell he was being tricked immediately. As soon as he said it, he's like, I see. I see where this is going. You know, he didn't keep pressing it. He realized he was tricked. I think that this guy actually has a much higher chance of realizing the truth and figuring out the truth behind everything than that person, like essentially the person that thinks they're, you know, the guy that knows he's wrong, but he's lying to himself, you know, like it's not helpful. It doesn't help anything, you know. And he's voting wrong, and he's like he really does have these ethics and this moral code, but he's just voting opposite of what he would actually support, what his moral code supports. And this guy might actually, you know, like almost like realize it, because that he has that moment of self-reflection where he realized he was being tricked. Does that make sense? So he might actually
What do you say to somebody who goes, wait, the 2016 primary was rigged, Trump said. The 2016 popular vote was rigged. The 2020 election was rigged. His 4 criminal trials were all rigged. His 2 civil trials were rigged. And the media,
totally.
What if he's just doing some stuff and then being held accountable for it?
I think the trials was rigged.
I think so too.
Do you have any evidence of that?
No at all.
What's your response?
So the point is, like, that's actually a really good way to say that. Like, essentially, he's saying, like, all this stuff. Like, essentially, Donald Trump does say that. Like, oh, it's rigged, it's rigged, it's rigged. He's basically just pointing out the fact that anytime there's something that people point out where, yeah, like, he has, like, all these things from New York following around and stuff like that. And like, essentially, anytime, like, somebody points this out, there's a whole bunch of things. What happened here, Donald? He goes, oh, it's a rigged this, it's a rigged that, you know? And so the point is, don't you just see that he's just saying that? Like, obviously it doesn't look good for him when it, yeah, like, duh. So he's just saying it's rigged. So do they believe that? Do they really? I don't know. It's crazy.
Evidence of that?
No at all.
They also kind of look like, should I say it? We all see it, right? We all see it, right? Do I need to say it? I think we all know what some of these sores are usually indicative of when we see a lot of them. That's all I'll say. I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't want to be rude in case I'm wrong, you know. But we all know that usually that's, you know.
I think so too.
Do you have any evidence of that?
No at all.
What's your response to dozens of former Trump administration officials even his vice president, Mike Pence, saying they're not endorsing him for president. Does that sway you at all? They saw him in those important decision room sorts of situations.
Nah, they just gotta grow a backbone. You know what I mean?
Trump,
Let's hear that again. Former Vice President Mike Pence says he's not endorsing Trump. So what?
of former Trump administration officials, even his vice president, Mike Pence, saying they're not endorsing him for president. Does that sway you at all? They saw him in those important decision room
And his answer to this is that you need to have a backbone?
sorts of situations.
Nah, they just gotta grow a backbone. You know what I mean?
Trump,
No, not really. Not sure what the hell that has to do with answering that question. So wait a minute. Like what is he saying? Like the whole point is like he's asking him why these guys why these Republicans don't want to endorse Trump. And the guy's answer to that is, well, you got to grow a backbone. What? It's just not a very good answer, that's all. I'm just saying like he could have elaborated. I'm sure he had something, you know, like I'm sure there was something that he knew that he, like, to him that meant something. But like I have no, you know, like he could have, like he may have even had something really valid for all I know. But like the point is, like that tells me nothing. You got to grow a backbone. You know what I mean? No, I don't. I kind of want him to say that. I kind of wanted him to say, no, can you elaborate? You know, like I actually want to know. Truthfully.
says that he respects women, right? I think respecting women is important. But he was found liable in a civil trial to have sexually abused a woman. Does that impact your support for him at all?
No.
Have you ever seen a convicted felon running for president and win? Have you ever seen a civilly liable rapist?
A rapist?
Civilly liable, he was found in a civil trial to have raped somebody?
And you have facts of that? Not just...
A jury determined it
okay.
based on the facts?
A jury does that all the time in our country.
Yeah.
What do you think of Kamala Harris?
Yep.
I don't know Kamala Harris. She's supposed to be taking care of our border and she didn't. And maybe someone needs to...
Wait. She just admitted. Wait, let's hear that again. The guy's already doing this. This guy's funny.
What do you think of Kamala Harris?
I don't know Kamala Harris. She's supposed to be taking care of our border and she didn't. And maybe...
So, she admits she doesn't know about Kamala Harris. She literally starts with that.
someone needs to check her paperwork, because from what the rumor tells me...
So she... Alright, so remember what I said about the racism, border? Immediately she's like, somebody needs to check her... No, this isn't in question, guys. She's Attorney General of California. Like, there's no question here. Like, come on. This is racist. This is what it looks like. And this is the problem. This is a problem. For sure.
She's not supposed to be running...
Let me ask you something. Why does it make a bunch of people really mad when the NFL puts "end racism" on their helmets? Why does this make a bunch of people mad? What is it? How does that affect you at all? Why are you upset with that? What does the words "end racism" on an NFL helmet have any effect over anything that you do whatsoever? Okay, I'll be honest. I worked for a company for a while when this whole thing happened with the kneeling and the blah blah blah. I saw just an abhorrent, disgusting amount of Americans sending their NFL stuff back because they were returning it. Because they were protesting the NFL after that. And then Donald Trump also, if you remember, he also said he also, like, spoke ill of them and stuff. So, and everybody said about the kneeling and stuff, disrespectful, blah, 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 blah. The point was to make you pay attention. The point was to say this is how they felt, so therefore they don't feel like they belong, and you should care about that. The point is you're proving that the problem still exists. When they do that, you lash out. That's the proof. That's why they do it. The point is that's how they protest without being violent. The point is it showed you how literally systemic it was. So many people, and you know, it's almost like the NFL kept cutting away from it. I understand for sure, like they're getting all these calls, like the people are probably pulling out, investors pulling out, blah blah blah. You know, it is what it is. They have to make budgets and stuff like that. I get it. Everybody has things that they can't say or talk about here or there and the other thing because of this, that, and the other thing. But eventually you have to, you know, you have to realize that how does this, how can we help? How can we as an organization look better by doing this, by helping? Let's start putting end racism on the helmets. Let's show that, like, as a company we care, but like we can't have people not saluting the flag. Like, that's what we do. So yeah, like I think my personal opinions are my personal opinions. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about whether Colin Kaepernick was wrong to kneel and stuff like that. My opinions on that are my opinions. And I think also, if he has the right to do that and it's not illegal, then you should shut the fuck up, go lay down, take a nap, or maybe go out and have a soda or something, because you need to worry about other things in your life. You are getting too angry over what some sports player is doing with their life, and it's somehow affecting you. No. The point is, he can't even leave the goddamn stadium and drive to a gas pump without somebody being racist or trying to cut in front of him in line or running into him, calling him some N-word or something like that. Like, you have to realize these, it's bad for some people. It's really bad for some people. And how does this affect you in any way? If every moment, every waking moment of this guy's life, he's insulted, berated, but then when he's on the field, suddenly he's a damn star. Well, okay. So then if that's what they're going to do, and it's all one giant image, and we all know this is bullshit, I'm going to use that one moment that I got to show what's going on, and I'll bet everybody else will start agreeing. I'll bet we'll see everybody else come out of the woodwork, and we'll see some other people taking a knee because they have the same thing happening to them. And sure enough, he was right. And that's all it took. And then BLM, the rest is history. Everybody knows, okay? You don't have to hate these things. There's nothing wrong with them. You also don't have to go out of your way to say that other lives matter too. We know that. But we've known this for a long time. Okay? The whole point is that there's a whole lot of people that are proving every single day they're proving that they don't get it, that they're racist, that essentially these other folks feel segregated and feel like not American. So the point is, what was it all for? the wars, the Civil War specifically, the Civil Rights Act, what was it all for? If you're still doing that, and they literally can't even breathe. And so like the point is that this is why we need to remember that it doesn't affect you if somebody wants to talk about an issue. You don't have to hate that or get mad about it or want to cancel it. This has absolutely nothing to do with you. Again, go outside, go lay down, go eat a freaking steak or drink a soda or something, because like the point is you need to calm down. You need to focus on something else. This is a lot of people right now. They just, why do we love to hate? So, this is what I see, essentially a systemic hate issue, where they don't really know. They are being manipulated with their hate, and Trump does this. This is his entire thing. He manipulates what he sees that people hate. That's all he's doing. So if people worry about the border and like they live in certain areas where they see like a lot of Mexicans and they have like anxiety over like, oh, are they illegal aliens and stuff like that, all Donald Trump's going to do is create some border crisis issue and you know, like all he's going to do is learn that the people in this state feel this way about this. And so he's going to create like essentially the states he needs, that's what he does. And he's just creating some huge anxiety issue for every single person in each state that, you know, so that's what this person's pressure is. Okay, let's feed on that and make them. So that's the point, essentially, to get people to vote for him that would have anxiety and essentially want, you know, a dictator or somebody to take care of it for him. Oh, he's going to take care of everything, you know. That's why. Oh, they don't get it. He's going to take care of it. No, I do. He's not. He can't. No. It's not good. You don't want this. No. This is so important to remember, and they were just it's just people being manipulated. Don't forget all these things that we try to tell you all the time about him. Like, everything's a lie. He doesn't have a plan. Nothing. He's not helping anything. He never did. And remember, guys, you don't see what a president does from day to day. Their day to day, you see that after they're out of office. So a lot of what people think Trump has done and stuff like that, oh, it's so good and stuff, oh, my wallet was good or something was good while Trump was in office, you can thank Obama for that. That's because of Obama. Okay? And things aren't really that great now, aren't the best now, literally because we just came off of Trump's administration. That's why. So we're experiencing what he did now. Those tax cuts he gave you, called a cut. That's why you're experiencing this now. This is still the Trump administration's tax cuts. Okay? It actually hurts your wallet. The government needs taxes to do certain things to help you. And sometimes there's a roundabout way of giving you more back. People don't understand how it works, but economists do, and the entire, it's very complex. And so, like, to think that, like, these one-off voters that are, like, just one-on, they don't even, literally don't know right from wrong. They prove they don't even know right from wrong. You cannot tell me that they know anything about what they're talking about when it comes to voting. Oh, yeah, the economy? No. It's extremely complex and complicated. And these people can't even get over racism. Maturity is the level, is the issue in this country. It's education. It's literally everything I've said. It starts with education. Educating kids in school about politics, and then by doing that, you actually, I'll be honest with you, a lot of times people will respect somebody else because they didn't realize that they stand for the same thing that they do. So, like, let's say the Mexican kid in class stands up in the debate and gives his talking point, and, like, maybe 2 or 3 of the other people in class thought something of this Mexican kid, but now because he stood up and said what he said, they turn and kind of look at him and think, wow, he really feels this way? I had him all wrong. And maybe they want to go be friends with him now and mingle with him and get along with him and stuff. We should teach debate. We shouldn't resist it. But it has to be done right. And it has to be moderated properly. And a teacher could do that. Sure. A teacher could do that. Absolutely. The teacher has to be willing to be unbiased, though. And the school could figure out who the best choice is for that. Sure. They could even vote on who they want leading that moderatorship, and stuff like that, and do a full democracy sort of thing with it, where it's like very democratic, or I shouldn't say democratic, it's very democracy, democratic republic, which is what we have. It's the whole voting system and stuff, so that's I think what they probably should do. But what the hell do I know, right? Let's get through this. Let's get through this. It's painful. It is.
For an office.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
Something to do with her parents and when she was born.
Even though she was born in Oakland?
Yeah, you have to check the paperwork.
So, I actually looked this up recently because I wanted to know the answer for myself, because I know people are going to try this crap with me, the whole racism thing. This is why I looked up her, and that all I did was simply look up the nationality of her parents. Nobody will do this. Like, literally nobody. Like, it's literally that simple. That's all you have to do. Just literally look it up. It's basic information that you can look up anywhere. Like, literally just Google that shit. And like, this is the issue. Age of information, and people are just touting nonsense.
Office.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
Something to do with her parents and when she was born.
Even though she was born in Oakland?
Yeah, you have to check the paperwork.
Don't know her.
You know Kamala Harris?
She don't really know stuff about what to do in the Capitol.
And you do. And this guy, he's the guy he's the guy that can say that. Yep.
Kamala Harris is the new threat. She was always the threat. She was always using Joe as a puppet, and now what we need to do is get her out. She's clearly not fit to run for office, not even fit as vice president or any political position. Couldn't even pass the bar.
Okay, we have an, yep. So this guy doesn't like women. Yep, you can just, yep, like everything he's saying, all right, so this is like an anti-women sort of thing. You can just tell. Look at this, this is his friend right here probably, just holding this Trump Vance sign. Yeah, I gotta throw something out there, guys. Trump really wanted Pence on his sign. He is very branded. He likes this brand. He wanted it to be exactly the same. I gotta be honest, I really think he picked Vance for the name, just because it looks like Pence, kinda. Vance, Pence. I just, it really is that simple with him a lot of times. He doesn't really have much of a reason for what he does. Vance is a guy that flat out he can control. He's only going to do exactly what Trump says. That's not a good thing. Because if Trump does something that he's not supposed to do, that could actually be really bad for matter of national security, blah, blah, blah. This is why people won't back him, even Republicans and stuff like Pence and stuff like that, because they know that Trump did those things. There was mountains of papers on Trump's desk, and he was golfing. Biden doesn't do that. Yeah, you want to talk about, like, vacation and stuff like that? They at least get their work done. It was basically proven that, like, some of these Republicans were sort of kind of coming out and, like, getting fired, right? And basically saying that there's mountains of paperwork on his desk that he just, like, wouldn't sign, things he just wouldn't sign, just getting put off, and due process is already slow, and he's just not signing it, just sitting there. And this guy thinks that that's the guy. Yeah, I promise you, all Trump's thinking about is when he gets back into the White House, can he still fit into his golf pants? That's really what he's thinking about. And how he can secure that position forever. Team Trump. See, it shouldn't be like that. Like, this is it's not a damn sports team. You're responsibly voting for a president. Like, this is not the image America should have. Like, the rest of the world sees this and thinks that we have a bunch of fucking Nazis living here. Like, this isn't good. Like, this isn't how you vote for a president. You don't fucking wear a bunch of goddamn shirts with flags on. Like, you look like cults. You look like fucking Nazis. Because you pretty much are. Most of you are very obviously racist. Like, this guy seriously obviously doesn't like women. He's saying just all these wrong things about Kamala. Negative things, to boot. And then, like, the lady before him was very obviously racist, talking about, like, her roots and her parents and stuff. Yeah, I looked it up because I knew people were going to do that. Yep, she's black. Big surprise. Like, Trump tried, like, the whole point was Trump tried that whole thing where she was like, oh, now she's coming out as black. He actually said that. Like, yeah, Trump really said that. Like, he was like, well, before she wanted to talk about her Indian heritage, blah, 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 and then now she's coming out as black, and he really said this.
Always using Joe as a puppet, and now what we need to do is get her out. She's clearly not fit to run for office, not even fit as vice president or any political position. Couldn't even pass the bar, couldn't pass anything. And what we need to do now...
That's not true.
She did pass the bar, but...
Yeah.
She did? Okay, Trump lied, did wrong.
He said it. He knows. This is your proof, guys, that, like, a certain percentage of Trump voters flat out know they're touting bullshit, and they just are racist. They are haters. They literally hate, like, women or a certain type of person. They're Nazis. That's what this type of... He's caught right here. He knows. Oh, so Trump lied. Oh, this was a lie again? Okay, so I better not talk about that one. That's literally how they are.
It's not even fit as vice president or any political position. Couldn't even pass the bar, couldn't pass anything. And what we
couldn't pass anything. Just anything. Guys, she couldn't even pass her driver's test, I guess. You know, like what the f*** is he talking about? Just anything. Yeah, she couldn't get in a car and pass another car on the road. Man, that's what we're talking about. This guy is so terrible. Like, this is I feel bad for him because, like, he's not gonna live. I don't think he's gonna live that down.
Need to do now.
She did pass the bar, but
she did. Okay, Trump lied, did wrong. She was. Trump said she didn't. So.
I got you.
I don't see her.
Trump said she didn't. So this is the excuse. This is the problem. Trump lies. people repeat the lies, and then they go, "Oh well, Trump said it, so I just I don't. It was him, so it's okay." No, stop it. Admit you're wrong, and then start changing your mind. It's insane. He was like saying all these terrible things about Kamala. Like literally none of them were true. She can't pass anything. I'm so glad he interrupted him there, and it's like she did pass the bar. Like thank you for doing that. Like that was just, man, that guy.
Her stacking up against Trump, especially when she laughs at every single question that she's asked like a hyena, and she doesn't have that best wording with sentences even against Biden does. She's very first grade with the way that she speaks. Like, you know, she calls a school bus yellow. We know it's yellow. I mean, she speaks like a first grader.
And Trump speaks more articulately.
Well,
Saudi Arabia and Russia.
This is perfect. This is so perfect. This is everything I was saying earlier. You know what I was saying? It's literally opposite. It's literally just them. They are what they claim to hate. They are the. You just said it. He's saying that she's like first grade and she can't talk, and it's literally this guy. And I love this guy for doing this. This is so funny. He literally put this guy's entire sentence word for word on the screen so that you can clearly see that he can't form complete sentences when he speaks. And this is golden. I love this. So again, what was the initial?
I don't see her stacking up
against
Trump, especially when she laughs at every single question that she's asked like a hyena, and
a hyena.
She doesn't have that best wording with sentences even against Biden does. She's very.
Let's go through that again. She doesn't have the best wording with sentences, even
against Biden.
Biden does. She doesn't have the best wording with sentences against Biden even does.
She's very.
See, I can't even remember what he said. It's so nonsensical.
First grade with the way that she speaks. Like, you know, she calls a school bus yellow. We know it's yellow.
Face right now. That's exactly how I felt when I heard that. His face is like the perfect feel. Like it's almost like this guy's just like resisting, like just you are really not very smart, are you, dude? Like just resisting the urge to just lay into this guy and just be like, You're talking about yellow school buses? What the hell? Like, look at his face. There's nothing intelligent this guy has to offer.
I mean, she speaks like a first grader.
And Trump speaks more articulately.
Well,
Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your.
What do you think of Kamala?
That was pretty good. I have to admit, that was pretty good.
Harris.
She's a bad one.
Yeah? Do you feel more
She's a
confident
bad
about your
one.
ability to beat her versus Biden, or no? Or the same?
What now?
More confident or less confident?
More confident.
More confident?
Yeah, he'll beat her hands down.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I think she's a joke, and I think that she doesn't know what she's doing, and I mean, there's no way that she's gonna win.
So, let me just say this: why is it commonplace for Trump voters to think that politicians that have filled role in government before aren't equipped and experienced enough to handle office? Why is this? Why is it they think that Donald Trump? And again, the very simple answer that he's a businessman. I've already excused this. Like, stop using this. It sounds really elementary. They're all businessmen. Okay, Kamala's a businesswoman. Okay, like the point is they all deal with business. Okay, they carry briefcases. They have meetings. They talk. Some of them have their own companies probably, because they do other things with their lives. Okay, so like it's like, again, another huge, very simple dismissal of oh, he's a businessman. Yeah, so it's that simple. It's not a reason. Again, it's the same with all of them. And again, these other business people are the ones trying to, like, point out the things they've already found about him and already had issues with him. You guys know he's been bankrupt 6 times? This is what common Trump voters don't understand. He's gonna help the economy, yet he's been bankrupt 6 times. You know, it was Germany, like a shitload of money. I think it's Germany. Look that shit up. Like that's the point. Like, this guy was, like, in real trouble when he ran for president, and everyone was coming after him. Then suddenly he runs for president, gets Secret Service. Imagine that.
But do you think she's qualified to be president?
Absolutely not.
I don't think she knows what she's doing
I
at
think
all.
she has no idea, and I think she's just like trying to do what she like. I think she's trying to like piggyback off of other people. Doesn't have any of her own, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris.
It's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. They don't know. They're just saying shit.
Herself is the issue.
She's the issue. Okay. What gives you that impression?
Just what she stands for. I think she's an idiot. So,
An idiot.
Yeah. I don't know.
She's an idiot, yet this guy expertly clips together her saying, I don't know, a whole crapload of time.
I don't know.
Seeing a trend.
So Kamala is supposedly the idiot according to this woman, yet this woman doesn't know. So many times. He has all these questions. I don't know. So who's the real idiot? Kamala would probably know and think about the answer and be able to answer it. Yep. Donald Trump doesn't know the answer. This is why he stopped trying to answer things. Yeah, because he often doesn't know the answer. He stopped trying to know the answer. That's the honest truth. That's the point. He started getting caught in not knowing the answer and lying a lot, you know, the whole back-to-back lies. So he just started never answering things and not knowing the answer. And he'll just never answer questions, basically. That's what his policy is now.
The simple fact that if Trump is willing to bring faith back into our nation by one nation under God, he would not use the term Bible, and let's leave it at that.
But when he gets asked about the Bible and his favorite verse, he can...
Oh, Bible. I honestly I was like, Bible?
And name one. 2 Corinthians, 2 divorces, was found to have raped a woman in a civil trial. Is that really the Bible person you want?
Actually, you know what? I don't think, because it is a campaign and he can't choose his own words quite yet, I think he's walking on eggshells with the comments that he does make. But I think the fact that he uses the term Bible, we're talking about a holy God.
Would you give Biden credit?
What? He can't choose his own words yet? Are you kidding me? You're trying to say no. That's flat out what made him his brand. He flat out says things he shouldn't say all the time. Yeah, you're talking about the guy when he first ran. He said he was he could shoot somebody and not lose a single voter. This is why we all didn't think he really wanted to win. He would say things like that. And then everybody's like, oh, he didn't say that. That's fake news. What? You know how many people told me that?
credit for. Let's just imagine a world where crime just plummeted under Biden. Would you say, okay, with all my negative statements about him,
Let's just imagine it. Guys, just imagine it. It happened. What he's talking about. So you know that thing where Trump said like he wanted to take police away and stuff like that? It was sort of the opposite. He helped. Yeah.
Holy God.
would you give Biden credit for? Let's just imagine a world where crime just plummeted under Biden. Would you say, okay, with all my negative statements about him, that's pretty cool?
That's not true, though.
Yeah.
It is, but yeah.
Crime has gone way up.
Lower than it was under Trump, violent crime.
Facts.
What part of Trump's presidency?
See, like, he can't handle it. Like, the point is, like, he can't look this guy in the eye now. Like, the whole point is he's knows that he's wrong, but, like, he just can't handle it.
Negative statements about him.
Point is, the famous Jack Nicholson line. You know, I even know Jack Nicholson was the bad guy. Tom Cruise was the good guy in that one. It's true. You can't handle the truth. This is everybody. This is like what I've been trying to say. Like, essentially, with a lot of the politics that I've been talking about, is essentially people just can't handle the truth. I would love, again, we're gonna move forward and be a lot more positive about stuff, you know. But you know, truthfully, people just can't handle the truth. And that's a lot of what that is. And this guy's face said it all.
That's pretty cool.
That's not true, though.
Yeah.
It is, but yeah.
Crime has gone way up.
Lower than it was under Trump, violent crime.
Facts.
What part?
Did he say fair? And then, like, look at his face. He clearly doesn't know. Like, that's the point. They just say these things. They have no idea. This dude looks like he's not buying it. He's like, I'm just not buying it. See, that's the problem. Is like when fed facts, they are not believing the facts. And again, he's wearing a Trump shirt. They're all wearing Trump hats.
That's not true, though.
Yeah.
It is, but yeah.
Crime has gone way up.
Lower than it was under Trump, violent crime.
Facts.
What part of Trump's presidency?
I think he said fair.
Oh, before the pandemic.
Before the pandemic? Okay.
Yeah. Who is running the country?
I don't know. Maybe it's the ghost of Corn Pop.
Maybe it's the ghost of Corn Pop.
Camel Toe Harris? Could be that. You never know.
Well, we do know. Official birth certificate, etc.
Camel Toe?
We help everybody around.
There's nothing of value that any of these voters have to offer as to why they're voting for Trump. It's all just so ridiculous. So the point is, why do you feel the need to just be wrong all the time? Why not just start being right about things and being on the side of right? Like, why do you continue to press the fact that it's very obvious what's happening here? Like, just, I can call this stuff before it even happens. How many times did I call something and then flat out it was a point in the video? We've gotten past the halfway point now. I watched to, like, somewhere around here, probably this guy. This is the last guy I saw. I stopped it there. So, like, flat out, like, it's just crazy, like. And that's not the first time that's happened to me either. I mean, we've
around the world. But as soon as something happens to,
hold on.
You never know.
Well,
let's. I didn't really like fully pick up on what this guy was saying. I was too focused on the hilarious Don Jr.
Who is running the country?
I don't know. Maybe it's the ghost of Corn Pop.
Maybe it's the ghost of Corn Pop.
Camel Toe Harris? Could be that. You never know.
Well, we do know. Official birth certificate, etc.
Camel Toe?
we help everybody around the world. But as soon as something happens to us, they want us to die.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Trump.
Yes.
Gotta go.
What? What is she talking about? What? Wait, what?
But as soon as something happens,
Wait, what?
Official birth certificate, etc.
Camel toe.
we help everybody around the world. But as soon as something happens to us, they want us to die.
It's just not true. So again, this is education. This comes down to education. Again, there are a lot of countries around the world where they're lied to by their government, and they're still being lied to. Just for example, what's going on in Russia. I mean, Putin is a terrible individual who rigged his own elections. Literally, the thing that Trump claims the Democrats are doing, Putin's actually doing. He's been president for a long time. He's like assassinated people that would like talk about it and stuff like that. He's committing war crimes. He's trying to destroy Ukraine. He was killing innocent civilians and stuff like that while invading Ukraine. And again, he just randomly invaded Ukraine one day. No reason, unprovoked. Let's just go into you. Russia just thinks they deserve it. So the education is that people don't realize that there are some system of governments, and this is what you have to worry about with a Trump government, essentially, where he would like want this to happen, where governments North Korea and like really incredibly controlled dictatorships like that. That's the most insane one though. Like that is extreme. But like in that extreme case, like flat out, they are lied to about everything. Like literally everything. They cannot see media. It's basically like living in the 90s there. Their power goes out at a certain time at night. They have like dial-up internet. Their smartphones, they have like a few brands. It's all controlled. They flat out, if you visit, they have somebody follow you around and guide you so that you don't talk to anybody. The people that are there are actually taught in school as they are brought up to never speak to anybody if they look like an American, because they are taught and brainwashed into thinking that America instigated the Korean War. But in fact, if you actually know, it was the Koreans that caused it, unfortunately, and instigated that. And so the point is that they would just lie to their people consistently. And they actually said that Americans do these terrible things and stuff like that too, like really terrible things. And so they're just brainwashed and actually taught in school and brought up this way. And so what you have to realize is that this person isn't considering that when they're saying, oh, well, the rest of the world just wants us to help and hates us and blah, blah, blah. It's like you don't understand that they're lied to. There have been people that have defected and come back and stuff like that. The point is they've talked about this. The point is they've actually confirmed that if everybody found out, it probably would be the other way around. Instantly, they would probably literally hate him and hate everything. And so, like, this is actually not necessarily a good thing. Like, the point is that we want that country to maintain. Like, obviously, we don't want it to not be there. We just want them to realize that it should probably be more something like South Korea. That's the point. Like, it's South Korea. It's totally, pretty much, free country. Like, it's, I think it's a socialist dictatorship, something like that. But, like, it's, it's a good, decent country and good people and stuff like that, and really unique people and just different. That's all. But the point is, you have to realize that this person isn't educated. They don't really understand that that's why people on the rest of the world feel that way. They're just lied to by their government too. It's like when it's basic too. It's why do you think the Talibans are so bad? Like, they just manipulate people because they need something. They manipulate people in really bad situations because, like, otherwise it would be otherwise like chaotic for them anyway, and stuff like that. And they promise them these things they're never gonna follow up on and stuff. Like it's all when manipulation and lies and things like that. The point behind government, the point behind what you would want out of a government is essentially to, you know, feel safe and civilized. That way we can have these jobs and security and have a normal life without worrying about those things. If you put somebody like Trump, like with people this ignorant to what he does, to the way the system works, it's not going to be good. And they're going to fight to the death for a guy that's literally causing the problems. This is the issue. These people are, I mean, flat out, they prove they don't know right and wrong with what they say. They literally just flat out are wrong. And again, if the words "end racism" on the back of a football helmet bother you, and you're like somebody that sits in the living room when you watch football and you get like angry about this and you irritated and like, why does the NFL do this? Blah, blah, blah. You are racist. Because you are justifying the reason to audibly, you know, like there's no reason. Again, why are you becoming upset with this? Why does this bother you? It shouldn't. How does that affect you in any way? At all. It doesn't. You're a child. You never grew up. You're stuck back in middle school. Yeah, you never matured. This is like 90% of these voters that I've seen essentially that act like this. They literally are just bullies. Hateful. And again, a bully is somebody that can't rationalize right from wrong. They don't understand, you know, essentially treat people the way you'd want to be treated. Like, obviously they don't get that. So clearly when an entire, you know, political voting system, an entire party, like the Republican voters, very clearly are acting that way, that's bad. You know, that's really bad. And we have a systemic problem with our education. People are stupid in this country. That's it. And the people that are smart and realize these things, they typically go to college. They are educated people, and they figure it out. Unfortunately, the ones, some of them figure it out and use it to their advantage and become really rich and take advantage of people and step on people. These are the people that rise to the top in very capitalistic companies and stuff like that. It's that guy that you see walking around at your company that almost nobody likes, yet everybody fears him when he walks around the corner. He's not nice to people. He's definitely not nice to people, but he'll smile at you. He's got a new watch every time you see him, maybe a new car. People generally fear him. You've never really spoken to him, but you know, like, to stay out of his way, essentially. He's the boss. He's like that corporate guy. And yeah, like, that's the point. The point is to show up and instill that fear that you are the guy. And, yeah. It's not good. And that's the point is people act like that even in businesses and stuff when it's like your paycheck that's affected. Like, come on, this is what we're talking about. This is bad. And then he thinks, people actually think that Trump is like for American jobs and stuff like that. Not really.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Trump.
Yes.
Gotta go home. You guys have
All
a
right,
great
you
night.
too.
Trump's ties were made
Y'all
in
be safe.
China.
People here.
That's it.
You make
What's
sure
up?
you vote Trump.
All right.
All right. You said all right. You didn't say yes.
I said all right.
Aha!
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, very good.
I love how he's like, I'm not gonna lie to you after all that. Essentially, like, this lady is very clearly very troubled. Like, she just does not know. some basic things.
I love Trump.
So, okay. This was fun. I really do appreciate the video. Thank you. I threw a like on it. I'm gonna put it in the description for you guys. But yeah, this was essentially eye-opening for sure. And again, I've seen this type of thing before, but it's getting way worse and even more basic now. These comments. This is why, so we have all these people that are like racist on here, very obviously racist, right? This person hit the nail on the head. This is why immigrants come to this country and succeed. This is their competition. I even said that. I said, like, basically said that, like, every, you know, like when I was in, like, the workplace, essentially, like, anytime I would see, like, a Mexican or something like that, like, no lie, they were there on time, every day, disciplined. They probably have the same packed lunch every day, maybe, I don't know, but the point is, like, every day, they didn't leave early for break. They came back on time. They did overtime. Like, they are some of the hardest working people you will ever see, because the point is, they are escaping a bunch of bullshit. And this is way better. Going to work, doing the motions, and putting in the time to actually earn money is apparently way better than whatever they escaped from. So stop thinking you have it so bad and start counting your blessings and recognizing when an immigrant can teach you something about life. It's scary how delusional these people are. It is scary. For sure. Again, I'm not some Democrat touting person. Like, the point is, I like Bernie too. And like, there are good people in politics. It's just that this is what people think, is that it's all the Democrat. It's like, it's literally the same bullshit propaganda the Republicans have been using against you for freaking ever. It's the same crap. They just literally have a terrible idea. That, like, the Democrats have a good idea. The Republicans say that's terrible. It's doing this and that. And they lie about it, and so it gets voted off. And then the Republicans get in office and bring up that idea, except they make it worse and gut it for everything that would help you and make it cost more. And you all vote that in. A lot of times is what you do. The amount of times I heard people say that the Clintons are like terrible and they hurt this country, and then it's like so opposite. It's literally, you can't even say that. Like, all Bill Clinton did was balance the budget and win 2 elections in a row. Yeah, he was like the only freaking president pretty much to balance the budget too. Like, and because of that, like, we actually succeeded and did well. Then Bush went and gave us another deficit. So, like, people just don't pay attention to literally anything that's factual. They just, oh, I'm just gonna vote for this person just because, yeah, border, yeah. There's nothing behind it. They're just racist or this or that. So therefore, that obvious choice is what they pick. What's a shame is, you know, proving this essentially means there's a certain amount of people against Harris just because of that, you know, and it's true, unfortunately. These people are funny to watch until you realize that they have the right to vote. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think that it's a systemic problem and it needs to be dealt with. These people continue to hold this country back simply over skin color. Sad. I'd agree. I would actually agree. It's the whole thing I explained earlier, where the abhorrent, disgusting amount of people that were returning NFL products, and they would send terrible like letters, like full-length letters of they're protesting the NFL because of kneeling and how terrible that un-American. You're just racist. They're trying to use some un-American patriotic bullshit mumbo jumbo reason to excuse their racism. That's what they're doing. So they're gonna stop watching the NFL. Well, the reason they're stopping to watch the NFL is because they wanted to begin with, because they started realizing how many black men are in the NFL, and yeah, they're kneeling and they're yeah, like no, that's the real reason. And Donald Trump causes worse of a problem. Yeah, the NFL should have done something about the fact that he, like, said what he said, but he was the president at the time, so. It's horrible that the president, that, like, Donald Trump wouldn't jump all over, you know, trying to help with that, and he would actually, just the sheer amount of money the NFL brings in, and this guy wants to talk bad about them and stuff like that, like that's the point. That's how much stock people were putting in what he was saying, and case in point, it did. Like, right after he said what he said, oh, does anybody even watch that anymore? Their ratings, like, dropped, like, overnight, pretty much. Like, just because he said it. Just like when I said that, you know, essentially the stock market moved when he was in office. Oh, the inflation, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's because it's a billionaire tweeting, and he's president. That's it. Yeah, a billionaire tweeting something affects the economy. People don't realize that's how crazy people are. They just believe shit. And then, oh, a billionaire said that. Let's all go fucking line up like sheep. Like, it's true. I know how that sounds, but it's true. Please stop doing that. Some of these aren't very nice. I won't read them. Cult of idiocy. I would like that to say idiocracy. The ignorance is staggering. Yes, it is. Take away one thing from this video is that MAGA supporters can be shockingly ignorant. Yeah, like this whole thing, like the MAGA thing, you have to realize that's just a sales pitch. It's not like a normal way of supporting a candidate. It's a brand. It's a sales pitch. It's a commercial thing. But anyway, I think enough said. Yeah, I appreciate this. I appreciate the video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And I will, again, put the link in the description after the video is done. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon.